All right, folks, we are back again. Welcome to Pat Quest. Today's topic: imagine a world where 70% of businesses no longer struggle with cash flow uncertainties, thanks to the power of accounts payable automation. In this episode, we dive into how this game changing technology is revolutionizing financial operations, enabling companies to not only streamline their payments, but also gain unprecedented control over their cash flow. Discover the secrets behind the transformation and how it's reshaping the financial landscape for businesses of all sizes. Joining us today is a special guest, Joey Medansky, a financial technology expert with over 15 years of experience in helping companies streamline their financial operations. So, welcome to the show, Joey.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Mitt. Always a pleasure to be here.
Great. So, yeah, without doing any further ado, let's dive right in. So, Joey, accounts payable automation seems to be gaining a lot of traction lately. Could you start by giving the audience a quick overview of what it entails?
Absolutely, Amit. So, yeah, accounts payable automation or AP automation involves the use of software to automate the entire process of managing a company's outgoing payments and also the invoices. So, this includes everything from invoice processing to payment approvals and then final disbursements. So, the goal is really to work or not work but less work, right? Reduce manual work and then minimize any kind of errors, accelerate payment cycles, and then ultimately lead to better cash flow management, right?
Right, great. I mean, that's fascinating. And speaking of cash flow, I've read that nearly 70% of businesses that have implemented AP automation have seen a significant improvement in their cash flow. So, can you explain how this transformation works? How this transformation happens?
And I have some more facts here. I'm just going to kind of read out. So, you know, automating your AP, it can cut invoicing process costs by up to 80%. Speed up the processing 5 times as much, reduce errors by 70%, and it really just shortens the AP cycle times from an average of 16 days to just 4. So, at the end of the day, when you're automating your AP process, you're essentially speeding up the entire payment cycle. In manual processes before, invoices, they can get delayed, and those approval workflows, could lead to late payments, and that really is going to negatively impact vendor relationships and even result in maybe missed, early payment discounts, costing your business money, right? So, with automation, invoices are processed much faster, approvals are streamlined, and payments are made on time. So this not only strengthens vendor relationships, as we mentioned already, but it's also going to allow your business to take advantage of the discounts, avoid late fees, and then again, we talk about directly improving cash flow, right?
Well, that makes a lot of sense there.
Mhm.
Now let's talk numbers. You mentioned the impact on discounts. How significant are these savings? Do you have, or could you share some statistics to give our listeners a clearer picture?
Yeah, yeah, and I brought some more things too. So, on average, businesses that have AP automation, they're capturing around 90% of early payment discounts. They're compared to just maybe a 25% to a manual process, I'd say. And and that's a huge difference, for one. But to put into perspective, a company with $10 million in annual spend, they could save up to $300,000 just by automating their AP process with AP automation.
Wow, these are some impressive statistics you just shared. And yeah, and I imagine the reduction in late fees would also contribute to those savings, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So late fees, those can add up quickly, especially for larger businesses with a high volume of transactions. Automating the whole process, it's going to reduce the risk of, as I mentioned, late payments, which in turn reduces or even eliminates those fees and further improving the cash flow.
Yeah. Now, Joey, all this sounds good and dandy. This all sounds great, but I'm sure some of our listeners are wondering about the initial investment. What's the typical return on investments for businesses that implement accounts payable automation?
That's a great question. The ROI on AP automation can be quite substantial, honestly, and most businesses see a return within the first 6 to 12 months of implementation. So, and in fact, I had some studies that showed the average ROI is about 2.5 times the initial investment over a three-year period. So, not only do you get your money back quickly, but you are also starting to see significant cost savings and cash flow improvements fairly early on in the process.
Yeah, that sounds great. And how does AP automation integrate with other systems, other financial systems, and what additional cash flow benefits does the integration bring in?
Yeah, yeah, good question. AP automation, like PathQuest, seamlessly integrates with the ERPs and financial management systems. Really creating a unified financial ecosystem. The integration is going to enhance real-time visibility into the cash flow, accelerate payment cycles, reduce errors, as we mentioned earlier. But by automating processes and linking those with broader financial operations, business they're going to optimize working capital, avoid the late fees, and then they can strategically manage cash flow and drive financial agility and efficiency. So it's really amazing.
Yeah, seems like everything done in the AP process impacts cash flow.
hmm
So yeah, so what trends are you seeing in the adoption of AP automation, and how do they correlate with improved cash flow across different industries?
Yeah, AP automation, it's surging yeah, as we speak, and as businesses seek efficiency and accuracy. It's particularly impactful in industries like manufacturing, retail, where streamlined processes really reduce payment, the delays. They're optimizing working capital, again, boost cash flow, right? And that shift, it's driven by the AI integration, real time analytics, really enabling smarter financial decisions and fostering healthier balance sheets across all sectors.
Yeah. Now, can you discuss any examples, any case studies you've done, or success stories where accounts payable automation significantly transformed a company's cash flow?
Yeah, we've worked with a lot of retail chains, and one of the leading ones, really, they automated their AP and they cut their invoice processing time by 70%. So that shift's going to reduced late payment penalties, optimized early payment discounts, and of course improved cash flow predictability. Right, so that company, they reinvested those savings into inventory expansion, and then it boosted revenue by 15% in just 1 year. So it's a clear testament, to the power of AP automation and a software like PathQuest as well.
Wow, 15% revenue increase in just 1 year. That
Yeah.
sounds nice.
hmm
Okay, Joey, what should businesses consider when choosing an AP automation solution to maximize their cash flow benefits?
Yeah, businesses should prioritize solutions that offer real-time tracking, dynamic discounting, and a seamless integration, right, with their existing financial systems. So, I, looking for AI-driven insights to optimize the payments and the payment timing, enhancing the cash flow again, and while minimizing those late fees. It's going to be important. User-friendly interfaces, I think, is a huge one. Robust analytics can ensure with those user-friendly UI, those can really ensure staff can easily manage the processes, especially while there is change, right? And while scalability at the same time can ensure the solution grows with your business, maximizing long-term cash flow benefits. So all those are important when you're looking at that.
Yeah, and now it's clear that AP automation is a game changer for any business or for many businesses. Before we wrap up, do you have any, what advice would you give to companies that are considering this transition but are still on the fence?
Yeah, my advice would be to start with a clear understanding of your current process and then identify the pain points, whether it's slow processing times, high error rates, frequent late payments. And then you look at the specific benefits, right? That AP automation, something like PathQuest AP, can bring to your organization. You can pilot the automation software with a small segment maybe to start of your AP, and then you can see how that impacts it firsthand. Often, you're seeing the results in real time, so it's what really convinces leadership to move forward with a full scale implementation after that.
Yeah, nice, great advice, Joey. So it's all about taking that first step and seeing the potential benefits for yourself. Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your
Sure.
wide, deep insights on AV automation.
Yeah, no problem. It's always fun topic to talk about, and looking forward to the next.
All right. So that said, we open for questions now. So if anybody has any questions, please mention those in the comments, and then we can go over each of those.